Hey everyone, welcome. So today we are going to tackle a huge topic, machine learning. And the goal here is to really demystify the whole thing, to give you a clear, easy to follow path so literally anyone can get started. I mean, right from scratch.
So have you ever looked at machine learning and just thought, wow, that is way too hard for me? If you have, you are definitely not alone. I think it's a super common feeling, right? This idea that it's this impossible mountain to climb, meant only for a few geniuses. And you know, there's a really good reason it feels so tough. So many courses and tutorials, they just throw you into the deep end. They skip right over the basics, the stuff you actually need to know. Well, that's what we're going to fix. We're taking a totally different approach. All right, so let's really get into it. Let's break down this ML learning problem. Why does it feel so hard? I want to make this super clear. It's not you. It's almost always the way this stuff is taught. I mean, look at this. This probably looks familiar, right? You get slammed with super complex math, all this confusing coding jargon, and what feels like a million prerequisites. And the worst part? Most courses just assume you already know a ton of stuff, so you're left with no clear path forward. It's a perfect recipe for getting completely lost.
Okay, enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution. To do this right, we need a totally new mission, a completely different philosophy for how we learn this incredible technology.
And the core idea behind this philosophy is really simple, but powerful. Machine learning is for everybody. It's not just for PhDs or tech wizards. The whole point is that with the right kind of guidance, this world should be open to absolutely anyone who's curious enough to dive in.
And that brings us to the core promise, which is this. No prerequisite gets left behind. We start from absolute zero. Every single building block, everything you need, we're going to cover it, and cover it in depth. You'll never have that feeling of, wait, did I miss something?
And when we say from scratch, we really mean it. It's not just some marketing term. We're talking about the necessary math, algebra, calculus, probability. We're talking about Python programming, starting from hello world. We'll get into data skills, how to collect it, clean it, get it ready. And only then do we get to the ML theory, explaining the algorithms one step at a time. So how does all this come together? Well, it forms a really clear three-phase blueprint. Think of this as your personal roadmap to getting really good at this stuff. The whole thing is broken down into three simple, manageable phases. First, we build the foundations. That's your programming and math. Second, we master the core concepts of ML itself. And third, and this is the fun part, we apply it all with real, hands-on projects so that it actually sticks.
So let's look at phase one. This is all about building your toolkit. We're talking Python programming, getting comfortable with essential libraries like NumPy and Pandas, and we'll cover the math you need, linear algebra, calculus, stats, in a way that actually makes sense and feels intuitive. Then, in phase two, we get to the good stuff, the core ML concepts. This is where you'll really understand the difference between, say, supervised and unsupervised learning. We'll pull back the curtain on the most common algorithms, things like linear regression, decision trees, SVMs, and see how they actually work under the hood.
And finally, phase three. This is where the magic happens, where theory becomes practice. You'll take everything you've learned and build actual projects. You'll learn advanced skills like feature engineering, how to tune your models to make them better, and even how to deploy them so they can be used in the real world.
Okay, so that's the big picture. But what does this journey actually feel like? Let's zoom in from the 30,000-foot view and see what it looks like day to day, from day one all the way to your very first model. Check this out. This gives you a real sense of the progress you can make and how fast. Week 1, you're already comfortable with Python basics. Jump to week 4, and you're wrangling data with Pandas. By week 8, just 2 months in, you're building your first regression model. And by week 13, you're doing a full end-to-end project. It's amazing.
That big timeline is super exciting, right? But you know the saying, a journey starts with a single step. So let's zoom in even closer. Let's look at just your first week to show you how completely doable this is. Seriously, look at this. Day 1 is just installing Python and writing, "Hello world." That's it. And then each day after that, we just add one small, simple concept. Variables, operators, if-else statements, loops. By the end of just 1 week, you've built this incredible foundation in programming just by taking one small bite at a time. This is how you learn something complex without ever feeling overwhelmed.
So now that you've seen the path, now that you see how it's all laid out, I guess there's only one question left. Are you ready? Let's talk about what you actually need to get started.
And the answer is zero. Nothing.
You need zero prior experience. You can walk into this with no background in math, no programming skills, nothing. This entire roadmap is built specifically for the absolute beginner. So really, it all comes down to a choice, doesn't it? There are two ways to do this. There's the old way, the one that feels overwhelming, skips the basics, and just leads to confusion. And then there's this new way, the one that's structured, starts from zero, and actually builds your confidence with small, practical steps every single day. And let's be real, this is about more than just learning a new skill. AI and machine learning, they are literally shaping our future. This isn't just about taking a course, it's about giving yourself the chance to be a part of building that future.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. That future is being built with AI as we speak, right now. The only real question is, are you ready to start building?